Pattaya has changed drastically over the years. In fact, over the decades, it's now transformed from a small fishing village into a worldwide destination. A destination not just for the single men as it was perhaps 10 or 15 years ago, but now also for families. You can come down Beach Road. It's absolutely beautiful. Wonderful esplanade. They've widened the road. Behind us we've got Central. Some of the best shops in the whole of Thailand are behind us. We've also got 5-star hotels, 5-star restaurants, and we've still got the characteristics of what brings us to Thailand, the Thai people and the Thai smile. However, away from all the glitz and glamour, there is a dark side. There's the poor side of Pattaya. Today we're going to take you, the viewers, to some of the slums that are not that far from where we are and show you how some people are living in what can only be described as drastic conditions. Okay, now away from the glitz and glamour of Beach Road, we're down here just off of Teprasit. This is Soi 7 and we're actually in Slum number 7.
We are indeed.
Okay, now joining me is William Macy, the charity chairman of the Pattaya Sports Club. William, this is a side of Pattaya that people just don't see.
That's right, Paul. They go down, there are lots of sois in Koh Pai, very similar to this, and they drive here towards, eventually you end up in Sukhumvit going that way. And of course, they don't look down the little sois down here. And it's the same with a number of sois around here. There's another one, number 5, another one back down that way. No, people are totally unaware that this sort of place exists. Now, you've just seen it. It's pretty awful.
It's bloody grim, quite frankly, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
The Pattaya Sports Club, you've been helping some of these families for quite some time. What have you been doing exactly?
Well, the main thing we've done is to buy them school uniforms. There's lots of children here. You won't see them today because they're at school, of course. But if they don't have the full set, which costs a lot of money when you think about it, there's lots of bits of uniform they need. If they don't have the full set, when they go to school, they are abused by other children for being poor. And, should I say it, but they're also abused by teachers as well for not being able to have the correct uniform on. Sure. So we bought them uniforms. I've no doubt we'll do the same next year as well.
Okay. So the kids get... Well, it's actually mentally abused because they become ridiculed, and I mean that's obviously not good for their mental health and their self-esteem.
That's right, Paul. I have met one child who got abused so badly that she refuses to go back to school. It's an appalling situation. Education is so important, but they've got to be happy at the school. Now, if they're not happy through abuse and everything else, then they just won't go back to school.
Okay, what else? Today we've got a builder here, and you're working with a lady from the Hand to Hand Foundation, and your good ladies here. Your good ladies here, and sort of helping translate. What are you looking at now? What are the projects that you're looking at here?
Well, on this particular site, there is a lady that is unable to move 24/7. She just lies on her bed all day. But the problem developed during the rainy season. And the water actually accumulated and rose something like 2 feet to the point it was reaching the bottom of her bed. And fortunately, the guys around here, they elevated the bed and put them on bricks. So now she was sleeping on a sea of water. Well, that's now gone. But now what we're going to do is build, I'd hesitate to say a house, it's going to be a room on a much higher level, so that in future this problem will no longer exist. And at least she'll have a dry house in which to spend her life. This gentleman here, he was told to leave his previous site by a private owner. I assume he's going to develop it. He came here, but there's not a spare house here. Okay. So we're talking to him and the builder, building a room over here where he can spend his days.
Okay, now you're talking about the guy who's living in this house behind us.
This house here. This is where he lives at the moment because that's all there is available.
Okay. So you're going to do something here. What kind of cost are you looking at? I mean, you know, you're talking about building a house for someone, but it's a house in the loosest sense.
It's infinitesimal. I've got the costings here, and this particular one, I think is going to cost about 13,000 baht. 13 or 14. We're now talking about putting the toilet in because they don't have a toilet. Right. So we're talking about putting the toilet in. So I assume we're talking about 15, 16,000 baht. Right. The lady over there, which I just mentioned, that's somewhere in the region of 7,000 baht. Okay. So the cost is minimal, and the comfort that it's going to give her in future is well worth that cost.
Okay. How many families are here, do you think, roughly?
I believe there's 100. I've never counted them, but Pai here, she makes regular visits. She works with hand to hand, and she makes regular visits, particularly to this slum, just to make sure that they've got everything that they need. And I just said to her the other day, is there any help we can give you? Oh, yes. And immediately these three families came up, and can you possibly help? So we're going to build effectively three new rooms, and the whole cost is only going to be about 35,000 baht.
That's like £700 in old money.
Yeah. Well, what can you do with £700 in England? A night out, perhaps, at a very expensive restaurant. Yeah. But this is going to provide 3 rooms for three people, which is going to make their life so much more comfortable. And I'll come along later just to make sure everything is done, just to make sure it's as we planned. Okay. And then once that is done, then I'll pass over the rest of the money.
Okay. Well, talking about money, you know, one of the reasons that I was interested in when you were telling me about this slum is that people aren't aware of it. I'm not aware of it, and and I'm working with organisations like you. People just don't know it exists. Maybe some people know it exists, but are unwilling to tackle the problem.
Turned a blind eye. I think you're right, Paul. Yes.
So, if people are watching this, how can they help as well? Because it's not just by giving a donation. I mean, what about sponsorship? I mean, companies, they can spend 10,000 baht on advertising or something. People who are in business, and if a few business owners were able to put some of that money your way to Pattaya Sports Club, 3 business owners, and you could take care of all these 3 projects.
Indeed. Well, we're in a fortunate position, Paul, where the members, they pay 500 baht a year. This is where we get our money from. But, of course, we're limited to the number of members that we have. Now, if a company would like to just sponsor Pattaya Sports Club to the tune of, it doesn't matter, 10,000, 20, it doesn't matter. If they would like to give that to Pattaya Sports Club, we will then be able to help a lot more people like this. But there's so many slums around Pattaya. As you said, people aren't aware of it. And we could help them so much more. And I think we've mentioned before, if anybody gives me money or whatever, a donation of any sort, I take pictures and I keep them informed as to exactly what we're doing.
But also, you execute due diligence. Today you're speaking with a builder. You check the costs of everything. You check that what he's going to do is what you wanted done, and then you come back and he only gets the money, the remainder paid once it's done correctly. Meaning, the money isn't going somewhere else.
That's great. This is my 3rd visit here on this particular project, and I will certainly make a further visit when it's completed. But you're right, we don't give money to anyone. We would prefer to buy things, to build things, to provide material, whether it's food or houses like this. I then come along and I make sure that what we're paying for is what we got. And if it isn't, I'll make sure that we do get it. So if any sponsors are looking, I'll make sure that it goes in the right direction. I make sure we buy what I intend to buy, and I will keep them informed of exactly what's going on.
Okay. Well, William, it's great work that you're doing, and hopefully our viewers today have had their eyes opened a little bit of not the dark side of Pattaya, but it's a side that exists here, and it's an uncomfortable reality.
It does, but it's not only the slums, Paul, and you've been around the Pattaya a little bit more now. It's not only the slums, but there's so many charities like the ATCC, the orphanage. They're looking after thousands of underprivileged children, and we can help all those in various ways. And this is slightly different. We're building houses, but with the likes of the orphanage, there's children's things, books, toys. And last year they had a big room which they didn't use. We allowed them to redecorate it and upgrade it. So now the children, particularly the young children, have somewhere to go and express in fact, they do their art and they're playing there. And they love it. But those are the things that we can do. So
it's nurturing.
Yeah, if anybody wants to contribute in any way, shape or form, Pattaya Sports Club is always available. I'm always available, and just give me a ring.
Okay. As we've been talking, the Pattaya Sports Club website's been on the screen. Have a look at what they're doing. This is just a snapshot of what Pattaya Sports Club are doing, and the many organisations who are all working together, helping people who desperately need help. William, thank you very much.
Paul, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Okay, well, it's thanks to William from the Pattaya Sports Club who are helping this community. As I tried to allude to, that these people, they're existing in very poor conditions. City Hall aren't doing a lot. They're building a road, which is going to be a small cut-through road through here. They're putting in drainage. But it seems that the people here are somewhat ignored. But it's thanks to Kun Pai from the Hand to Hand Foundation, who's helping coordinate with William. And what's your name? Chirai Kap? Plai. You Tarai Kap. How old are you? Tarai.
3 ขวบ
Oh, จริงเหรอ?
3 ขวบ
The great thing is these kids are delighted. They're happy. They're happy to see us. They're happy to know that people are helping. They don't know they're poor. But you do. And you do now. Get in touch with the Pattaya Sports Club. Maybe you can do a little bit. This is Paul for PMTV. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. สวัสดีครับ Thank you. Okay, it's 2 weeks later and we're back here at Soi 7 off of Tepasit, at slum number 7, one of the worst slums in Pattaya. The work's been done. Let's check it out. Joining me is Kumpai from the Hand to Hand Foundation. Kumpai, this gentleman beside you, this is now his magnificent new home. I mean, it's not magnificent by Farang standards or even Thai standards, but for him it's something quite special, I guess, right?
Yes sir
Okay.
ครับ
Could you ask him how he feels now, and he can speak in Thai?
ผมรู้สึกว่ามีความดีใจครับคือว่าทางด้านพัทยาสปอร์ตคลับนี้ได้มาสร้างความรักในการสร้างบ้านให้กับผมกับลูกครับแล้วก็ของมูลนิธิมือต่อมือด้วยครับผมอันนี้ผมก็ไม่รู้จะตอบแทนอย่างไรครับผม ก็คือขอซาบซึ้งไว้ในน้ำใจครับ
Okay. Can you translate that for me, Pat, or shall I get my translator to do it?
Yeah, and he said thank you with Pattaya Sport Club to make a house for me and my children, and say thank you with hand to hand with come to helping with him.
How many children does he have?
กี่คนคะมีลูกกี่คน
อ๋อทั้งหมดพี่ก็4 คนครับ แต่มาช่วงหลังๆนี้มาลำบากช่วงมีลูกผู้หญิง2 คนครับผม
ค่ะ I have 4 children, but now is I will take care with 2 children, it's 2 daughters.
And where was he living before?
Uh,
Before the house is here, where does he live? Does he live here, but just over here or something?
Before they will live over there, is the behind with the building, and then with the water come in, it's too much with the water high about 1 foot, and then and we come and visit and we looking and contact with Pattaya Sport Club. Okay, please can come and helping, and Pattaya Sport Club support with the money.
So now this well, it's on a higher ground, but also it's off the ground. So when the rains come, it should be okay, right?
Yeah, it's now it be okay because this is area it high more with that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, we're going to speak to William Macy, who's the man who's sort of pulling the strings for the Pattaya Sports Club. He is the charity chairman. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. Okay, now as promised, joining me now is William Macy. William, 2 weeks have passed, a little bit of money, and this gentleman behind us has a new home.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Great. 5-star accommodation.
Well,
compared to what it was,
yes.
It's a 5-star accommodation.
Now, he's one of 3 people that you've helped at this sort of little project that you've been doing now. We've got some shots here of the old lady who's bedridden, and before she was living in, I mean, you couldn't possibly call it a house. I mean, it was only even half walls.
Difficult to describe, wasn't it?
It was terrible, and the way that she was positioned in the village, if you can call it a village, was that people kind of walked through past her as a little shortcut.
That's right. Yeah. Well, not only people, but the water as well, which was the main concern. Because I mentioned last time that during the rainy season, the water came up so high, it was almost exceeding the bed, so I had to raise it up on bricks. But now, as you saw, they've now cemented the floor, and I think now there is no danger of the water coming into the home. So the neighbours tell me she is extremely happy and contented.
Right. And the way that you've placed her new house, if you like, is right next door to one of her relatives. So it's actually handier for her. They can keep an eye on her because she does need a bit of care, doesn't she?
24/7, Paul. She can't move. Every time I've been here, she's been laying flat. I've never seen her sitting up and supporting herself. But as you saw, there's a door there which leads to her. I think it's her nephew's home. So yes, you're right. They're there all times. They can keep an eye on her, and she's happy.
Okay. And are you
happy as she can be?
And are you happy?
I am, Paul. It hasn't cost a lot of money, this, and I know you're going to have a look at the other one as well. It hasn't cost a huge amount of money, and we've made 3 families very happy, and that really is all we're looking for, is that when we finished, the beneficiary, if you like, is happy and think, thank you, that's good. And that's all we're looking for. And this gentleman's happy. They tell me she is. I'm happy too.
Well, William, I've said it before, it's great work that you're doing, and I know you're doing it on behalf of the Pattaya Sports Club, but you give up your time, as does Nigel and Tony and such like, to keep the cogs going round of the Pattaya Sports Club, and of course all your other staff. But it's great work, and you can only be applauded for it. As we've been talking, as ever, the website's been on the screen. Click on that. If you want to get involved in, why sit in the bars all day? Go and play golf, go fishing, go-karting. You can hear them in the background. get in touch with Pattaya Sports Club. You pay a small membership fee of, is it 500?
500 baht a year.
500 baht a year, 10 quid in old money a year. You get discounts to various different activities, sporting activities across the town. And then by joining the sports club, not only do you get to meet new people, sort of network in a sense, you're also enabling William and his team to be able to help the people in Pattaya.
Without the members, we wouldn't be able to do this. It is purely down to the members renewing or joining Pattaya Sports Club, and enables us to do this sort of thing. Of course, there are many, many others which people can see on the web page, because everything we do is on there, so they can have a look and see exactly what we do. So thank you, members of the Pattaya Sports Club, for continuing your membership.
All right, we're going to wind up here, but we will be back later this year, and it is a new year, and we'll be back with more great stories what the Pattaya Sports Club are doing in Pattaya and beyond, helping the community. This is Paul for PMTV. See you again. Bye-bye. Thank you, William.